All right, friends, welcome back to the Be Fabbo Podcast. Today's episode is 101. Welcome to a new era. Welcome to a new chapter. Welcome to the new season of my life, where I get to spend more time working on the Be Fabbo Podcast and Motivated to Be Fabbo framework. So I'm super excited to have you along for the ride for these next 100 episodes. And I'm going to change things up a little bit, going to do something different. I'm going to ask you right off the bat, do me a favor, please subscribe to the podcast. There's going to be a link in the show notes, $5 a month. And when that $5 a month, that subscription, that's going to allow me to do a few more things for you. I want you to subscribe and I want you to get on the BeFabbo newsletter. And then in that newsletter, I can send you some bonus. I can send you a few different things. I was trying to do this as a premium content where you paid $5 and then you got some premium content. But for right now, I don't know how to make that work. That's easy for my tech brain, not a mindset thing. I know my weaknesses. I know my strengths. Many of you, if you're new here, dyslexic, and I learn differently. I have a stutter, but I also have just a little bit of a learning disability, or as I mentioned, I learn differently. So for me, trying to figure out a place to put that extra content within the episode was hard. So I want to continue bringing value here. And I do hope that you are getting value and that you appreciate what I'm trying to do. I want to be that cheerleader for you. I want to be that voice of confidence to help you start believing in yourself, so that you become that voice, so that you become your biggest fan, that you become your hero. I believe we're in a time in the world, in our lives, where we need to really start understanding that putting everybody else first isn't serving us well so that we can serve others. I believe in living a purposeful life. I believe in living a meaningful life. I believe in the life of service and to help empower others. And now more than ever, I want to be that for you. And I think we need that. I want to kind of hush out that negative in our mind. So nothing's going to change as far as mindset momentum. You notice I updated the graphic, updated the logo, but it's still going to be mindset, motivation, momentum to help you thrive in business and in life, surrounded with the Fabbo pillars, right? So I'm able to have some time now to really dive in to continue empowering you. So if you are finding value, do me a favor, just start sharing this podcast. I'm not going to have sponsors. I'm not going to have people come in and give me ad money. My simple ask for you is to share with others that might need this message, and then to subscribe for $5 a month. And let me bring you this content in a little bit longer format, and get on the Be Fabbo newsletter. I'm going to start bringing it out every week for now, to start growing the list, to start building upon this already very important and very impactful Motivated Be Fabbo community that we have. But I'm not ready for a big group or a big, one of those public communities. I have to start small and take small steps to see the change that I can accept and to see the change that I feel I can bring. And none of us want to change until we want to change. So I'm not here to change you. I'm here to remind you that you're Fabbo and that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And in due time, what's coming to you is coming to you. That can't be taken away from you. What is yours is yours. And hopefully within these new seasons and these new episodes, you're going to start really diving into shifting your mindset, believing in yourself, and really stop worrying about trying to please everybody else and what everybody else thinks. Now in my 62, so I'm in my 60s era, I've learned a lot about myself and my strengths and my weaknesses. And this calling I feel to continue to empower and help move you all to the direction that I know you want to go. I'm not going to say to live up to your potential, because we all have that potential, but there is just so much in you that I think we as humans hold back based on what people think of us. And we're afraid of doing something because of what somebody might say or how it might impact others. And I really want with this new series, this new next 100 episodes, to really be about, so what if, right? What if you did something and it impacted people in a positive way? What if you took the steps and it made an impact and changed somebody's life? If you're doing what you love, it should bring you profit, purpose, and joy. That's still going to be the underlying talk here. I believe in a life of service and I believe in serving others, but I think we have to really serve ourselves first so that we can be that sounding board, that we can be that entry door for others to find their calling and to be that person that gently nudges. So just do me a favor, subscribe. I'm going to keep it in show notes, but I'm starting it for the first time with this episode. Subscribe, $5 a month is what I have it set for. So if you find value, hopefully that will be something you can do, and then continue sharing this show with me. You can text me, you can voicemail me, all that's on the website. I will be improving some of that as we go along. I have a lot of motivated BeFabbo framework to bring to this year, and I want to make sure that we can go on this journey together. And I'm privileged and honored for the time that you give me in sharing this space. So do me a favor, just subscribe, help me continue to do what I love to do. If you're feeling value and if you feel that I'm offering you something, then please, just subscribe. All right, moving on. Let's move on with our topic, right? Episode 101 is mindset shift. Unlock the power of and for business and life success as you want to define it. What if I told you that your greatest opportunity for growth doesn't come from choosing between this or that, but instead from saying yes to both? The word and, as small as it is really powerful, my friends. And it's a powerful bridge that can unlock incredible possibilities in your business and your life. Today, we're going to dive into how embracing the power of and can help you break free from those limiting beliefs. So we're going to start really pushing off negative Nancy. It's going to be a lot of our conversations here for mindset, motivation, and momentum. We're going to start believing in ourselves. We're going to start talking to ourselves better. We're going to start treating ourselves as our biggest and greatest, most valuable clients, right? So I want you to really start believing in yourself so that you can do what you love that will bring you profit, purpose, and joy. So let's start off with the trap of the either or mindset, right? Many of us fall into that trap of thinking or feeling like we have to choose one path over the other. And I know, for the record, the things we talk about on this podcast are easier said than done. But if we want to see change, we have to be the ones to change ourselves. We can't ask others to change. We can't suggest others change. People will change when they're ready to change. We have to learn to let people live their lives and tell their stories so we can live our lives and tell our stories. So quite often you probably find yourself saying, I can either be a good parent or I can be a good business owner. I can prioritize my health or I can prioritize my career. I can focus on profit or I can focus on purpose. But this either or mindset is what puts limit on us, because sometimes it's forcing us to choose for unnecessary trade-offs. Embracing and allows us to see the opportunities where we might think challenges exist. Why do we have to choose one over the other? That harmony again, right? We know that we're not going to always be working on balance, because of balance, we expect something to fall and we're waiting for it. So we're going to continue in this X100 series to work on, the harmony and creating that, right? So throughout these next episodes, I'm going to share case studies. And these are some of my coaching clients, and they all are thrilled and okay with me sharing. I don't share all of their story. That's their story to share. And remember, when we share our stories, the power that it gives others to believe in themselves, to believe that they can do it, is immeasurable. Because if you see it, you can be it. So if others see you struggling, they know that struggles are happening in their life or their business, and they know they too can get past it because they've heard you share that story of struggle. Not always just the story of success. And again, how do you want to define success? Don't define it by somebody else's measurement of success or how they define success or what you see them doing. I want you to really concentrate on believing in yourself, being your hero, staying motivated, having the mindset to shift and to change where you know you can change and improve. And I am not saying improve in a negative way. My friends, you're already Fabbo. I am just here to remind you that that's within you, right? So let's talk a little bit about Maria. She was a creative entrepreneur. She is a creative entrepreneur, and she was running a thriving online boutique, and she was raising 2 young kids. Now, initially, Maria came to me with the I'm stuck. And we're going to talk a little bit about, are we really stuck? We have choices. We can move forward and not be stuck. That's for another episode, right? But Maria was feeling stuck in the either or mindset. And she struggled with how I can't scale my business and be a parent that is present. She came from a background of a parent not being present, so she knew she did not want to be that for her kids. She kept thinking, I can't do both of these. There's no way I can do both of these. And this way of thinking had left her feeling so overwhelmed and unsure of how to move forward. Her business had already plateaued and she was feeling guilty. Like, should I just get rid of my business? I'm not putting much time into it because I'm doing the battle back and forth. How am I supposed to try harmony, Bobby? How can I find the harmony of being a business mom and a business owner and a mom and not falling short on either of those? So we started shifting the mindset, right? We started with simple mindset task. And when Maria redefined her approach and embraced the power of and instead of choosing between 2 things, and we dove deep into the honest, right? You got to be honest and ask yourself the hard questions. Once we started working on this and we came up with how can we integrate both her role as a parent and an entrepreneur in a way that would work for her family, and her clients? How could we create that win-win situation? With this question, we got to work on creating a plan that started with Maria letting go and delegating some of the day-to-day operational tasks in her business to free up time so she had more time with her family. Now, she was already doing some of this, some of the mundane work. Her kids aren't quite old enough to work in the business just yet, but she had met some friends along the way that turned into employees. So she already had some people that were doing the delegating part. Again, easier said than done. I understand the whole process of trust. But she had to start trusting these people. And she had to start looking for some others to take over bigger roles in her business. And she didn't want to personally do some of the things that she was doing anymore. She fell out of love of doing some of the things. Remember, lots of times on those napkins, we write down, if I could do this, this, and this is what I would do. Or I can't wait to start my business. And here's the name of my business. And then what happens is we get all stuck up, we get all caught up in the creativity side of it. And we realize, oh my gosh, I have to buy insurance. I have to make sure that the place is clean. Even if you're working from home, you need to have a workspace. You have to buy desks. You have to buy equipment. You got to clean the toilet. You have to answer the phone. You have to actually work, and you're not working on that passionate project or that niche that you wanted to create. So you fall out of love with what you were doing. Delegate the work that does not bring you joy. Your creative genius and your zone of genius is much better served. If you're really good at selling, be working on marketing and selling. If you don't like to sell or promote yourself, find somebody that does. You can still be your own hero by believing in being that leader that you are. Even though you're leading yourself or you're leading a team, you're still leading yourself. So tell yourself what you need to do. Lead how you would lead a team if you haven't built a team yet, right? So we started working on how to get rid of some of these tasks, right? And where her business wouldn't miss a beat, right? We knew that she didn't want it to go backwards. She wanted to keep the business moving forward. Then we started talking about, well, how can the kids be involved? The kids are going to get excited when mom might have to miss something if they knew more about what mom was missing. And sometimes we come home to our families or we're in our house and we talk about all the bad things that happened today. Oh, this customer did this, or I didn't get this done. So sometimes I think our kids and our spouses and our family members think, do you really like what you're doing? What's good about it? What's the impact that you're making? Because we get hung up again on all the things that are going wrong and we don't see the impact that we're making. We could have 17 things go wrong in our business, and the one thing that we did today within those 17 things could have changed somebody's life or made an impact in some other way. So how can we bring the kids into the business? So she started having the kids come in and they would talk about some packaging ideas, Like she asked them to draw out the ideas. Now her kids are a little bit older, but they're not teenagers yet. So they could draw, and they were drawing some ideas and some concepts. And then she even had one of them start videotaping them in the process. Now it's up to you if you want to have your kids on video, if you want to have your kids on social media, but family business is a family business. And, this is, at the time of this recording is 2025, right? So that is all up to you how you want to do it, but get your kids involved. Let them be making some decisions. Let them be part of the excitement of something. And then they can follow the process. They can follow the success of that item. They can say, oh my gosh, the package I designed was selling like this, or the package I designed started doing this and having an impact. And now they see they're part of it, and they're part of the social media behind the scenes part of it, where they can watch and see it grow. And now they're excited. And now you open up a whole nother door of a conversation. It's something that they can relate to with you. You can have this conversation. And you can be teaching by example along the way, but also imagine what you're going to learn through the eyes of someone else that loves you, that wants to spend time with them. What ideas and concepts do they have that they might be able to bring to the table? And you have to be open to being able to see that. Open is one of the pillars of the Fabbo, Motivated Be Fabbo. It's the O in Fabbo. It's open to opportunities, open to listening, being open in general. So once we started doing that, and she made some changes that allowed her to focus now on products that she really loved, that was bringing that passion back. And they were still aligning with her core values and her goals. And guess what, my friends? They became profitable. The family was working on things together. Those items became profitable. And she started getting more time freedom. And I think as entrepreneurs and business owners, we forget to consider how valuable time freedom is when we start defining success. Money in the bank is great because the better we do, the more good we can do. And it's that feeling of goodness that we can support our families, but also that time freedom to go and do and be with who you love, right? Spending time on other things than your business. So don't ever forget the value and the importance of time freedom. We talk about that a lot on the podcast. So our boutique grew 30% this year. And she felt last year, and she felt more present and connected with her family than before. And she realized through this process that it wasn't about making impossible choices, but it was about finding harmony between her ambitions, her values. Now, here's one of the keys, listeners. When you embrace you move from a place of limitation to a space of possibility. Maria decided that she no longer had to sacrifice the dream of entrepreneurship and the dream that she always wanted to be a present mom. She found a way to make harmony and to marry them together and build that thriving business and that thriving life. And my friends, you can do the same. So let's talk about the mindset shift of Anne. Reframing choices. Instead of asking, which should I choose? I want you to start asking, how can I make space for both? An example. Shift your mind from saying, do I pursue profit or purpose? And reframe that question to how can I create a business that delivers both? That's a win-win for everybody. The energy of and. Think about the energy and the power of the word and. Shifts you from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. It allows you to see solutions and not just challenges, and sometimes challenges that you're never going to choose because you still haven't defined, is this challenge worse than this challenge? Is this obstacle worse than this obstacle? Because you don't really know where it is you're trying to go. So you've got to be clear on that vision, right? Got to be clear on where it is you want to go, the impact that you want to make, and then how you're going to get there. So if we can start choosing and instead of one or the other, I think you're going to find the power and the energy that little small word and has. Here's an actionable step I want you to take. I want you to identify one area where you're stuck at. Remember, stuck. It's a big word, but are you really stuck? Or you just haven't thought, how to get out of that by moving forward because maybe you were thinking you had to choose. The power of and. So think about when you were stuck in that either or thinking. Write down that limiting belief and reframe it and use the word and. Instead of being stuck having to choose, let's put in place the power of the word and. Then I want you to list out your possibilities that arise. What's the possibilities that arise when you allowed both options to coexist? Possibilities when you chose and instead of one or the other. Practical steps to embrace and in business and life. Again, clear priorities. Embrace being a visionary and setting time aside for yourself. You've got to do this more than ever, my friends. You've got to make yourself a priority. You have to be on the schedule, have to be on the calendar. You have to be a non-negotiable part of your business. Treat yourself as your best client. You cannot serve from an empty cup. You have to take care of yourself first, right? We live in a world where we're trying so hard to please everybody else and we're so worried about what others think. And at 62 years old, I'm here to tell you, I have never really bought into that. But there was times in my life that when I chose to do something or made a bold move, like the one I'm on now, with this new era of my life, others told me I was stupid, I was crazy, what am I doing? And I just have to trust that I know what's best for me. Right or wrong, fail or succeed, it needs to be with me. Not what others define me as or see me as or think I should be doing. I appreciate all the positive thoughts. I appreciate all the positive feedback. I even appreciate the negative feedback. I learn from those things. But I had to be the one to decide my next chapter, my next steps. And I'm asking you to do that to yourself. Don't always worry about pleasing the other person first, right? Let them go. Just let it be. Work on your self-care and your growth. So an action I would like for you to do on this one is create a weekly schedule that reflects both your ambitions and your personal priorities. And if you can't do it weekly, again, small steps. This month, I'm taking this day off to go on a 2-hour hike. This day, I'm taking off 2 hours to go see a movie. This day, I'm taking 2 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes to learn something new, to go visit somebody, to go sit alone, or to call upon a friend that might have been on your mind, to do a monthly check-in on others, to see how you can serve them and how you can support them, right? Be that person that makes yourself a priority. And since most of us are in the service industry and the care industry, we will get fulfilled by taking 30 minutes to an hour once a month and devoting our time to helping others. Go volunteer. Go. You know what drives your fuel. You know what fuels your motivation. You know what sets your soul on fire, right? So do that. And then I want you to stay present. Right? I want you to practice being that dreamer. I want you to continue being that dreamer, but I want you to stay rooted in the present moment. Where you are today, my friends, applaud it. Be so damn proud of where you are. Embrace it, celebrate it, stay here for a few moments until you decide your next steps, right? It took a lot for you to get here. A lot of sacrifices, a lot of choosing before you did the project here with me. Lots of choices were made, lots of sacrifices made. Look at you. Be damn proud of where you are. Celebrate that you're here. Celebrate that you're still standing. And think about all that you're going to be able to do with your gifts and all the abundance. All those lessons that you've learned will help you serve yourself and others in the future. So stay in the present moment. Start each day grounded. Do an exercise that connects your big goals that you can do in actionable steps by being present. Okay? So what I'm saying is, I want you to think about every day, I'm grateful for being here. Thank you for the opportunity to serve those I'm getting ready to serve. Thank you for the lessons that I've learned. Be grateful in where you came from. Be grateful in where you are. And be grateful in where you're going. So think about being grounded. And today, I'm going to do these 4 things. The power of and. Not choosing, but I'm going to do these 4 things. And that will help grow your future by being present today. And finally, the transformation behind and. Friends, when you embrace the power of and, you allow yourself to live in a possibility rather than limitation. You allow yourself to live in possibility instead of limitation. You stop choosing between what lights you up and you can start integrating all the pieces that make you whole. whether it's your career, your relationship, your goals, your self-care, your profit, and your purpose. You're capable of creating a life and a business where all of these can coexist and coexist beautifully. You can find the harmony in that, my friends. So today, take one step towards saying and instead of or, and watch your mindset, motivation, momentum shift for the better. I challenge you in this last little bit of time together. I challenge you to reframe your limiting beliefs and use the power of and. Share your results with me. Let me know. Post on social media. I'm going to start asking for those things. I've never been good at that. But in one of my learning steps and for my next era is I'm going to learn to ask others to help me and help promote me so I can continue empowering others. You empower me when you share. You empower me by sharing space with me, right? So subscribe to the podcast. Show notes has all the information. Hopefully I've done that right. Fingers crossed. I'm thinking positive thoughts that I did. Subscribe to the podcast, get on the BeFabbo newsletter, and let's continue to grow this wonderful community. And I can't wait to watch all the places and all the impact that you make over these next 100 episodes. And I'm here for it. And I hope you're along with the ride. And I need you to empower me as much as I need me to empower you. I need you to know that I'm giving it all here. Authentically showing up, unedited, stutters and all. That's me showing up for you. I want you to start showing up authentically for yourself. I got lots of great topics that I really took some time to research. So I'm happy to share and I can't wait to share. But again, text me, send me a voicemail, get on the BeFabbo newsletter, subscribe to the podcast, share this when you hear it and when you see it. And let's continue to promote and cheer on each other. I think the world needs all of us cheering for each other. So let's be the example. Let's be the change that we want to see. Let's cheer each other on. You can help me by cheering and sharing the Be Fabbo podcast, and I can help you by being there for you in any way I can support you. All right, till next time, my friends, stay Fabbo. Remember, you already are. I'm just here to remind you to start believing in yourself because, my friends, you are so worthy and you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Till next time, friends.